Today we're going to be covering volume. Volume serves as a confirmation of commitment of market participants to price action. We're going to talk about herd or panic selling, also why uptrends do not necessarily have high volume at the top, and identifying lower volume tests and accumulation distribution. This is the chart of the S&P 500, the SPY weekly chart, the end of 2008, beginning of 2009. And the one thing I want to bring your attention to is where the green arrow points to a commitment to a new trend, which is a combination of both price action, breaking the former trend, accompanied by above average volume. So what you see here is that the trend was going down, making lower lows and lower highs for the 4 previous bars. One of the things that this bar does is it breaks that trend, but it's also accompanied by above average volume to the upside. That is an indication of a possible commitment to a new trend. Next, we're going to talk about distribution volume, a high volume at the top. And this top you see here in 2007, which you'll notice is that as it was going up, you did not see an ultra large candle, but what you do see is you see a rolling over of the price action. The 3 indicators you see here are from the Neo-Harmonics price action analyzer that takes into account trend and length of time in that trend. Then one of the things it does do is that in the bar you see, the solid blue bar is the price action analyzer identifies a gap candle down, which is rejecting this old area of value and looking to find value lower. But I just want to bring your attention to the volume here. So prior to that bar going down on heavy volume, as it approached the top, the volume was a little bit heavier, but it was not anything that was ultra noticeable. Now the one thing is that after it does commit to the down, when it does retrace into that area, I want you to note that it did it on a low volume retracement. And one of the things that I want to bring to your attention is that the concept of greed. Greed is a powerful emotion, but there is no such thing in the market as panic buying. One of the things is that people feel okay if they missed the move and left money on the table, but they definitely do not like to lose money, which we will cover in the next slide. So what you see here is distribution, and in this case it did not show ultra high volume as it topped out, but it did go and retest that area on lower volume. The next slide I want to bring you to is panic selling that leads to accumulation. Right here what you see is that as price comes down, you see volume come in, indicating panic selling from those who held this instrument. And the reason you see this is that the fear of loss is a very strong emotion. So people do not like to lose money, so they end up panic selling, as opposed to they're okay with missing the move, and that's why you do not have panic buying. So what you have here is that as it comes down and you have larger volume come in, you have the panic selling coming down. That does not necessarily indicate a trend change right then and there. It just brings your attention to the charts. Accumulation does take time, and what you want to do is that you want to let the accumulation happen. And accumulation refers to a reestablishment of a position by market participants in order to go long or in the new direction. So one of the things you can do to actually see if that is happening is that as it comes down and tests this area where panic selling happened, is it testing it on lower volume? If it is testing on lower volume, what that is indicate here is that there's actually less panic selling, or the panic selling is actually drying up. And if the panic selling is drying up and everything is being bought at these bargain prices, then the groups that accumulated it will be able to drive it up on above average volume with the price action change, which doesn't take that much if there is no more sellers left to run into. So at this level, if people start buying and they're not met with any selling, then the price action becomes very fast and swift in establishing a new trend.